What's up guys, it's Ed back again from TechSource, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the new Corsair STRAFE gaming keyboard. It's a mechanical keyboard with Cherry MX switches, and each key is separately backlit, which means that you can select and choose which key you want to customize, and I'll get more into that later in this video. For those of you that are unfamiliar to MX switches, there are basically three common colors: red, brown, and blue switches. Each color represents how clicky the key press is, as well as the feedback you receive after hitting each key. The Cherry MX red switches deliver smooth, linear key response and are less clicky than the blue switches. A lot of you know that I have been using the X-Force Sidewinder keyboard for the longest time, and I've been wanting to switch over to a solid mechanical keyboard that's great for gaming and productivity, which is why I was excited to test this out for a whole week and see if this can be my new keyboard. So popping open the box, we can see a plastic bag that contains the manual and warranty information, and then the keyboard itself. We have a full plastic frame for the keyboard with a matte finish for the keys, which is great because the glossy or polished finish attracts fingerprints, whereas matte doesn't. The spacebar has a textured surface to help distinguish it from the other keys, plus it adds a nice overall look to the keyboard. I also really like the red outline behind the keys. It definitely makes the entire keyboard pop out, and black and red just looks so damn good together, but I'm sure you guys already know that. As I mentioned before, you get very smooth and linear response with each key press, and they are less clicky than the blue MX switches and not as loud, but you can still hear it, so if you're a live streamer on Twitch or record yourself gaming, it's definitely noticeable. Here's a quick demo of how it sounds while typing. There is one thing I don't like about the keyboard, and it's the missing wrist rest, which is really crucial to me since I type up my scripts for my videos and I need wrist support so that my hands are at a comfortable angle and that I can reach every key easily. Without it, it's very uncomfortable to type for long periods of time. On the top right, you will find the 3-setting brightness control along with a dedicated key for the Microsoft Store, it seems. And in the back, you will find a single USB pass-through, which I would have preferred to be on the side for a more convenient access, but I'm sure that they put that there for aesthetic reasons. The keyboard not only looks a lot better with no holes on the sides, but you can also run the cable outward and straight into the back of your PC, which looks more natural. I also really like the fact that the keyboard isn't extended with extra macro keys on the sides that I never end up using anyways. There also isn't any dedicated multimedia buttons anywhere on the keyboard, and instead they added them alongside the F keys, which is brilliant. They only kept the important keys, which contributes to a smaller, more compact form factor. On the bottom of the keyboard, you can find the 4 rubber feet on the corners, and they work really well. You also get 2 tiny legs if you want the keyboard to be at a slight angle. Now, I'm sure most of you know that I have a black and red theme, so this keyboard fits beautifully in my setup. You don't need an RGB keyboard if you have a similar setup like mine. There's really no need to pay extra if the only color you are after is red. So as I mentioned before, the keyboard comes with a 3-setting brightness control. We have low, medium, and high. And for some reason, the light radiates from top to bottom in the video, but it's not like that in person. Instead, you get a solid static color. I also like the backlighting being exposed from both sides. I think it really makes the keyboard stand out, especially when you're using it at night. Productivity wise, I think that the keyboard will be a lot more comfortable with a wrist rest if you are planning on typing for a long period of time. Now for gaming, I experienced no problems at all, since majority of the time my fingers are in the same exact location, so a wrist rest is not needed. I really do like the feedback I get from the Cherry MX switches. Each key press is quick and smooth, but most importantly, they are not as loud and clicky as the blue switches. Lastly, let's take a quick look at the software and what you can customize on the keyboard. Under the Actions tab is where you assign keys with specific tasks. You can set up macros, a specific text to quickly fill out forms or chat, and you can also program a repeated keystroke for auto fire in FPS games. Shortcuts to your favorite applications and media controls as well, along with a few other options that also involve your mouse. On the profile page, you can customize which keys you want to light up by simply dragging a box over them, or by clicking on each one of them individually by holding down the control key. You can also control the brightness manually here for each key using this option down below, and additionally you can add an effect like the visor, which shifts colors from one side of the keyboard to the other, a rain effect, or even a pulse effect that slowly fades in and out. There are also 2 typing modes that activate a certain effect as you type. The first one just lights up the key that you press and slowly fades away after a few seconds, and the second effect, which is my personal favorite, causes a ripple effect around the key that you press. Those are just the basic options. However, if you really want to get creative, you can customize each effect to your liking in the lighting tab, whether that's adjusting the intensity, adding a timer, or even the brightness level. By the way, you guys can find the full manual on their site if you're interested. So that's basically my review on the Corsair STRAFE keyboard. My final verdict would be thumbs up on gaming and somewhere in the middle for productivity. If Corsair added the wrist rest on the keyboard, it would have been a definite yes for me, and I would easily switch over from my X4 Sidewinder. For those of you that are not into the black and red kind of theme keyboards, then the K70 RGB edition is definitely a nice option for you guys. And I'm going to leave a link to that as well as this keyboard down below if you guys want to check that out. If you guys enjoyed the video and want me to continue doing keyboard reviews like these, then let me know by leaving a like on the video. And if there's a specific keyboard you guys want me to pick up and do a review on next, then let me know by dropping a comment down below. But that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Ed, and I'll see you in the next video.